The image depicts a mural of the famous Polish singer, composer, and musician Zbigniew Wodki.
Day 12. It's day 12, yeah. Day 12 in Katowice, Poland. We got into Poland last night. Pretty late. So we're out looking at the city now. Came in about 11:30, 12 last night. Some strange Polish lady let us stay at her house. No, I'm just kidding. That's Joe's woman. We stayed with Carolina last night. So now we're gonna venture around the city a little bit. Tomorrow we're gonna head up to Auschwitz. It's supposed to be a kind of an all-day thing. So we're gonna hit Katowice, or not Katowice, Auschwitz tomorrow. And then we actually got a flight to Rome the following day. So we'll stay here one more night, and then we'll head out to Rome later on this week. So, and then we'll probably do Venice and Florence. So, should be good. So yeah, we're just hanging out here in Katowice.
Bluesman sculpture, a well-known piece of street art located on Mariacka Street. This photograph was taken at the monument to the Scouts of September. The monument commemorates the martyrdom of Silesian scouts who resisted German soldiers entering Katowice in September 1939. This complex consists of two neo-modern office buildings, KTWI and KTWII. KTWII is the tallest building in the city, standing at 134 meters high. The image features the Silesian Insurgents Monument. The monument commemorates those who fought in the three Silesian uprisings between 1919 and 1921. This monument is dedicated to General Jerzy Zedek. He was a prominent Polish politician and military officer, often referred to as a son of the Silesian land.
Found an old Russian cemetery here in Katowice. They died defending Poland from the Germans. It was at 1945, I think the sign said. Hard to read, they're in Polish. So it's pretty neat nonetheless. I don't really keep it mowed very well. And I took a picture of that statue to show you. Pretty cool. So that's different. The Russian Red Army Cemetery here in Katowice.
The image displays a memorial dedicated to Soviet soldiers. The monument is located in a military cemetery, and it commemorates Soviet soldiers who died in battles during World War II. This honors Marshal Józef Pilsudski, a pivotal figure in Polish history and a key leader in the nation's struggle for independence. This image displays the Silesian Parliament building.
Day 13, got off the train, walked about a mile to get to Auschwitz. We are here, about to go in. Kind of a warm day. We haven't had any warm days up until late, so it's kind of nice. Here's what we're looking at. You can see all the fenced in stuff here. It's a different part of it. This is the main entrance here. Looks like we got a line. We haven't had a line yet. There's another big concrete structure. Holds it all inside. finally made it down here in the basement. Kind of had to take a tour. So any of you guys ever wanting to visit Auschwitz, you can only just come at 4 o'clock because you can come in and walk around and do what you want. So this is what we're looking at down here before we go in. Equipped with headphones and everything. We did not want to take a tour. Looks like we are, though.
As we arrive at Auschwitz, there's a stillness that immediately sets this place apart from anywhere else. This is not just a historic site. It is a memorial, a place of memory, a place of mourning. Located in southern Poland, Auschwitz was the largest of the Nazi concentration and extermination camps. Between 1940 and 1945, more than 1.1 million people, most of them Jewish, were murdered here. Today, people from around the world come to walk these grounds, to learn and to remember. As you approach the entrance, you see the words, "Arbeit macht frei," work sets you free. This phrase was a lie. For many prisoners, passing under this gate marked the beginning of unimaginable suffering. Few who entered would leave. As you approach the entrance, you see the words, "Arbeit macht frei," work sets you free. This phrase was a lie. For many prisoners, passing under this gate marked the beginning of unimaginable suffering. Few who entered would leave. Inside Auschwitz, this was the administrative center of the camp system, a place of imprisonment, forced labor, torture, and execution. Walking through the rows of brick barracks, everything feels ordered, structured, almost ordinary at first glance. But inside these buildings, thousands of prisoners were held in overcrowded, unsanitary, and brutal conditions. Men, women, and children were stripped of their identities. Their names were replaced with numbers, their belongings taken, their dignity systematically destroyed. Each building tells a different part of the story. Nearby stands the first gas chamber used at Auschwitz. Here, victims were killed using Zyklon B, a chemical pesticide repurposed for mass murder. Inside the exhibits, you begin to see the scale of what happened. Shoes, thousands upon thousands of them. Eyeglasses, hair. Each item belonged to a real person. Someone who had a life before this place. Someone who had a family, a story, a future that was taken from them. It's in these rooms that the numbers become human. Suitcases labeled with names and addresses. Prisoners here face starvation, forced labor, disease, and constant violence. Roll calls could last for hours, even in freezing conditions. Food was minimal, just enough to keep people alive for work. Punishments were severe and often arbitrary. Survival was never guaranteed. And yet, even here, people found ways to resist, to help one another, and to hold onto fragments of humanity. As we walked through the barracks, we saw what daily life looked like here. These washrooms, crowded and shared, stripped away any sense of dignity. Prisoners lived under constant control, some even forced into positions over others just to survive. The sleeping quarters were just as harsh. Wooden bunks stacked 3 levels high, often with multiple people in one space. Every detail here tells the same story. Overcrowding, exhaustion, and survival. In the courtyard outside, executions took place against what is now known as the death wall. Thousands were shot here. Standing in this space, the weight of what happened is undeniable. Block 11 was known as the death block. Inside were standing cells where prisoners were forced to remain in impossibly small spaces overnight. Others were kept in dark cells, completely cut off from light and air.
Man is starved to death.
As we walked through the camp, it was hard to grasp what this place once was. These buildings, now quiet, were once filled with unimaginable suffering. The gallows stand as a reminder of public executions meant to instill fear. Guard towers watched over every movement, every moment controlled. And these fences, they didn't just keep people in. They took away hope. It's not just history you see here. It's a reminder of what must never happen again. The adjacent crematorium was used to dispose of bodies. This was not chaos. This was systemized, industrialized killing. A deliberate, organized effort to destroy entire groups of people.
We have entered the gas chamber. Part of it.
This part of the camp is one of the most difficult to stand in. These rooms were not just structures. They were part of a system designed for mass murder. People were brought here under false promises, unaware of what was about to happen. In these walls, countless lives were taken, and in the crematorium, evidence was meant to disappear. Today, this space stands in silence. Not to shock, but to remember. To honor those who were lost. And to remind us why history like this must never be forgotten. A short distance away lies Birkenau. This is where the scale of the Holocaust becomes even more visible. As you approach, the iconic railway tracks stretch through the entrance gate, a symbol recognized around the world. This is where trains arrived, where selections were made, where life and death were decided in moments. When prisoners arrived, they were immediately separated. Some were chosen for forced labor. Others, many of them elderly, sick, or children, were sent directly to the gas chambers. Families were torn apart within minutes. Most never saw each other again.
At least they catty cornered them.
So the backs weren't touching?
Yeah. So you have to put your back on somebody.
This is their latrine system. Made out of solid concrete. This is just one of the bunker houses here.
This is the quarantine.
This was the quarantine part. The newly arrived. This is crazy.
This is going to be all the same all the way down through there.
Yeah, this is the Auschwitz II camp. Much, much bigger. It's called both.
Huh?
It's called both. Look how many there are down through there. Holy crap. Walking down this road is kind of depressing. Still see all the remnants from the houses that they burnt down trying to cover all this up. It's on both sides. You can see a whole bunch over this way. Look at all those chimneys. Hopefully you can see it. Look at all those chimneys. All down through there. Started burning all this. Trying to hide it. It's an old train car. so depressing. Trenches that the slaves had to dig. Just guard towers everywhere. All around this place. It stretches as far as the eye can see. So huge. Way bigger than Auschwitz 1. Probably 3 times the size. It's too bad they don't let us go in the train car anymore. This is unbelievable.
The barracks at Birkenau were even more primitive. Originally designed as horse stables, they were overcrowded with prisoners. Wooden bunks stacked 3 levels high. Little heat, minimal sanitation, disease spread quickly. The conditions were harsh beyond description. At Birkenau, the Nazis built larger gas chambers and crematoria to increase the scale of killing. As the war neared its end, they attempted to destroy these buildings to hide evidence of what had happened. Today, only ruins remain. But even in their destruction, they speak volumes. They stand as silent witnesses to one of the darkest chapters in human history.
Electric fence.
More than 1 million people were murdered here. Jewish men, women, and children. Polish prisoners. Roma and Sinti. Soviet prisoners of war. Others targeted by Nazi persecution. Walking through Birkenau, the vastness is overwhelming. It stretches farther than you expect. And with every step, you're reminded of how many lives were lost here. Today, Auschwitz-Birkenau is preserved not only as a historical site, but as a warning. A reminder of what can happen when hatred, dehumanization, and indifference are allowed to grow. It asks something of every visitor. To remember, to learn, to carry these stories forward. Because this place is not just about the past. It is about the responsibility we all share for the future. In a place where so much was taken, memory is what remains. And remembering is how we honor those who were lost.
It's at the very back of the camp where the crematoriums were. You can see the edge of the fence line right there. This was the end of it. Birkenau is Auschwitz 2. This is the one that's in English. It goes all the way down through here. Hopefully the video is good. The sun's in my eyes, so I can't hardly see what I'm filming. Hopefully it's good. This is in all different languages here, it looks like. Yeah. It's a lot of languages. It all says the same down through there. Here we got the other side. Here's the back of the other side. Train tracks ran down right through here. Train tracks. They cut that out to build this memorial back here. There's the end of it. It used to run out through there. Just knowing the stuff that happened here Almost makes you sick walking through this place. Here's another crematorium over here on this side. You can see that pile of rubble. And to put all this up here, they still kept the fence posts. They're made out of concrete. So they still kept the old fence posts here. It's good that people keep telling this story. If you get a chance to ever come and see it, you really should. Just can't put into words how large this place is. If you can see way down there at the end, that's where we came in. This thing's almost like a mile long, it feels like. Me and Joe's walked plenty of miles, so I think I'm becoming an expert on distance. Wow. Unbelievable. Gas chamber, crematorium number 2. Look like that. Here's what it looked like on the inside. All those ovens. Here's the gas chamber part of it, completely caved in. Heading up to the crematorium part. On that sign, this said the gas chamber. See, there's some steps down there coming in. My oh my. Some more over there too. Looks like they're gonna let us go into a couple of the barracks here. Check out the living conditions. They said about 6 people per bunk.
That's all they had to keep the bed.
See the chimney here that we saw the remnants of, some of the ones that were burnt down. This is what the chimney would look like. Of course, some down there on the ground that people had to sleep on. My gosh. Can't believe people had to live like this. He's in a hurry. Can't believe people had to live like this. Looks like down here at the end we have kind of a wash station. Here's there. Always had 2 chimneys. Unbelievable. Here's the washroom. Wow. Cannot explain how this feels. Just listening to the tour guide and everything they talked about at Auschwitz 1, and then here at Auschwitz 2, seeing how large this is. Knowing that they had to go off and do some slave labor, and for lunch they had a little bit of soup, and then when they were done working, whatever time that was, all they gave them was a piece of bread. And then to live in these conditions in the harsh winter, how cold it must have been. Just amazing. It's just breathtaking. So now I'm back up here at the beginning here where the trains came in, the main guardhouse. I'm gonna head on back, have some dinner. So that's gonna be it for today. I don't even remember what day I'm on. What is this, day 13 maybe? We'll say 13 for now. That's gonna be it. Hopefully my video wasn't too bad, too shaky. Couldn't really see with the sunlight, so I was just kind of guessing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you get a chance, you should definitely come and see this for yourself. You can watch all the movies that you want. To actually be here and walk on the same ground as these people, it's just fascinating. All right, until tomorrow.